We continue this morning with a focus on our Texas Cares effort. All day, we'll be featuring the organization stepping up to help the survivors of Hurricane Harvey. And joining us now, we have David Smith, CEO of the United Way for Greater Austin. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We're glad to be here.
Tell us about the many ways that the United Way has been helping since the storm hit.
Yeah. Well, probably the main way so far has been through our 211 program. So I don't know how many people are familiar with 211, so I'll go into it.
I was just asking you about it, so yes, let us know.
Sure. So we do this 365 days a year, 24/7. It's free, and it's basically a call helpline for people who are poor. So if you don't know where you're going to sleep tonight, if you don't have enough food to feed your family, if you can't pay your utility bill, one of the hundreds of things that people living in poverty deal with constantly, you can call 211 and we'll connect you with a service that will meet your needs right then.
You're like the middleman.
Right, exactly.
So let's talk about the types of calls, if you can give us just some examples of what you've been responding to.
Sure, and so certainly when we knew Harvey was approaching, we were preparing. We've dealt with disasters before, but I don't think anybody was really prepared for this to be the worst housing disaster in U.S. history. And so our team was there taking the early calls of, I might need to evacuate, can you help me get evacuated, which we did. And then they turned into calls like, I'm standing waist high water in my kitchen. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. My power just went out. My phone is about to die. I'm out of food. Can you please help? Those are the kinds of calls that we were taking for days and days last week. That then, as the storm moved on, those needs turned from less of an emergency rescue mode into more basic needs. So food, shelter, of course, water.
How about emotional care, maybe?
Oh, definitely. I can't tell you. We were all hands on deck, so I'm so proud of our 211 staff and volunteers. They've done an amazing job of rising to this challenge. They've gone 24/7. Some of them have been sleeping in the office. We've answered over 80,000 calls in the Texas network. But yeah, I'm proud of them and the work they've done to make sure people get the care they need.
You're helping others. We want to help you. What do you still need in order to help those survivors?
Thank you. Yeah, we have a fund that United Way, and jointly with Austin Community Foundation, the Entrepreneurs Foundation, the MFI Foundation, and Capital Factory, have a joint collaborative local fund for long-term rebuilding, and that's really what we need. If people can give for the long-term rebuilding, these needs are going to go on for years. We're just seeing the very beginning. If this is a marathon, and we're still in mile 1.
I love that you're looking long-term, because when something like this happens, everybody wants to help, and then a couple of weeks, couple months, let's say a couple months down the road, it's kind of like it's forgotten, and that's when everybody is really still trying to get back on their feet, still working on, repairing their homes and what have you.
Exactly. That's when most of the need is happening, and so that's why we're here for the long term with this joint fund. So we'd love for people to support that. I will, go back to what you were saying, that just to have every single call that I took, and I think of a grandmother who said, I've got my grandchildren up on the kitchen counter, the water's rising, I can't get them on the roof to be rescued. You got to help us. A 10-year-old boy called and said, he was so polite and so scared, and he said, can I take my dog with me to the shelter?
Like, of
so
course.
Every single caller was so appreciative and grateful just to have a live voice to answer the phone who cares about them. So
thank you for everything the United Way does. We really appreciate it. Thank you
for having us.
And we'll continue to bring you these stories from relief organizations in our area all day long. And please consider giving what you can to our Texas Cares Drive. Every dollar you donate goes to the Red Cross, and we've already raised over $1.4 million so far, with over 50,000 of that coming from right here in Central Texas. So just log on to KVUE.com/TexasCares.